Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. I beg to move that leave be given to bring in a bill to make provision to protect consumers from being charged twice for the same good or service and for connected purposes. In a nutshell, this bill seeks to end the practice where customers are fined or charged again for a transaction which they can prove has already been purchased. I am seeking to introduce this bill, having supported constituents who have attempted, unsuccessfully, to appeal against these charges. I am left with the view that the law needs to change to give consumers more rights and to catch up with changes in technology which those who charge do not appear to have embraced. In this regard, I am grateful to the campaign group Which for their support in bringing about this change. Let me give a few examples of those who would be helped if we could put this bill onto the statute book. Firstly, the driver who parks their car in a local authority car park and puts their annual season ticket on the dashboard. They close the door and the ticket slips down and is not displayed correctly. Despite being able to prove that they have a season ticket registered to their car, they have not displayed the pass, and it is this which delivers them a £60 fine. Secondly, the rail passenger who prints out their train line documentation, but the ticket barrier cannot read a QR code. Despite the documentation demonstrating proof of payment, it is technically not a ticket, and they get charged a penalty fare at the barrier, despite the fact that the ticket machine which could print the ticket is 10 metres the other side of that barrier. These are examples from my constituency, real-life examples, which have supplied others. A driver issued a parking penalty notice by a local authority because he accidentally used the wrong parking area code on a map, despite him paying the right amount to the right council, but for the wrong part of the car park. A driver issued a parking penalty in similar circumstances where the driver had paid the parking company by phone, but previously registered with a car now replaced. A woman who knocked 2 parking tickets off her dashboard and accidentally placed the incorrect ticket for display. This woman owns the space in question under her lease and has evidence of the valid ticket confirming no loss suffered by the parking company. And fourthly, a man who received a parking penalty notice after he filled in the wrong entry time for a supermarket car park but paid for the length of his stay. No loss was suffered by the supermarket, who could have confirmed the same by looking at the cameras. These are numerous and additional examples of this sharp practice, where consumers have been fined despite no loss being suffered by the organisation. It is the case that some organisations offer discretion, but some do not. Many cases occur because the organisation is using outmoded technology. Why is it that local authorities fine drivers for not displaying a ticket when an easier and hassle-free alternative is for a parking attendant to be given the technology to check the vehicle registration against the season ticket database? In our digital age, consumers are being offered efficient ways to purchase, and these are not always being matched by an efficient way to prove purchase. This bill would seek to ensure organisations catch up with this century's technology. Let's take the train line case as an example. My constituent took the train from Brighton to Tunbridge Wells, which necessitated a change at London Bridge. The barrier at Brighton recognised the QR code, so no printed orange rail ticket was needed. The leg from London Bridge to Tunbridge Wells did need an orange rail ticket because the barrier at Tunbridge Wells had not been upgraded. However, the constituent did not need to leave the platform at London Bridge. Despite showing paperwork confirming name, payment and train times, the constituent got a penalty fare from the operative manning the barrier. He could have walked 10 metres with her to the ticket machine and obtained the ticket there and then. Instead, he explained the constituent would be able to appeal the penalty fare. This did not succeed, and neither did an appeal to the fares regulator. In none of these circumstances and none of these examples did the service provider suffer any loss. Instead, they have ended up making a profit off the back of those customers who have already paid. It's an absolute rip-off and an obvious black hole of consumer legislation which needs a fix. This is what my bill would seek to do. While the cases I have highlighted are transport-related, this is a general consumer issue, and I hope the Bays Minister on the government benches will lend his full support. That said, I am grateful for the support of the Transport Select Committee members who are supporting this bill. I should highlight that, it is important that those this bill seeks to protect can demonstrate purchase. We cannot aid those who seek to commit fraud. With the support of government, this could be overcome. Madam Deputy Speaker, the last time I attempted to introduce a bill in these circumstances, which was to make it a requirement for banks to ensure every high street supporting 5,000 or more residents had at least one free 24/7 ATM cash point, and the government backed that move. From the time before, when I attempted to bring in automatic and automotive passenger refunds, we have had partial moves in that right direction from the government. I am grateful to them and colleagues across the House who have supported the introduction of this legislation. More, I'm afraid, than the 11 signatures allow me to put, but I'm very grateful here to see the honourable members for Southport and New Forest East here supporting this bill. Because we all have constituents who have suffered at the hands of pernicious organisations who are living in the last century. I very much hope that the government will find a way to support an end to this sharp practice.
The question is that the honourable member have leave to bring in the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. The contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Who will prepare and bring in the bill?
Madam Deputy Speaker, Graham Morris, Carl McCartney, Gavin Newlands, Jim Shannon, Ben Bradshaw, Greg Smith, Robert Largan, Simon Jupp, Sally Ann Hart, Steve Brine, Robbie Moore and myself, Madam Deputy Speaker.
Huw Merriman.
Consumer Protection Double Charging Bill.
Second reading what day?
Friday the 18th of March 2022.
Friday the 18th of March 2022.